someone who has expertise, who can be of a great help, do let us know and help us induct some people who will make a difference.
Ricky, I have a question.
Yeah.
This is there are possibilities of cities being prone to disaster, like we had the Chennai deluge recently. So when we are casting the smart city framework, is there not a possibility of integrating a few specific sensors at strategic places, like we are looking at the possibility of a pocket of infection coming, and there could be an aftermath of an epidemic breakdown and things like that. Has anybody thought about that? The disaster framework.
So this is where I think we didn't explain. This usage scenarios is an integrative approach, because RFP, the documents are siloed. You're doing healthcare, you're doing healthcare. You're doing parking, you're doing parking. You're doing security, you're doing security. But a lot of time, assets and infrastructure can be reused. And this is exactly the example you're doing. So a light pole need not just be for lights. It can be for pollution, for noise, for theft. It can be a Wi-Fi access point. So there is a tremendous reuse of infrastructure you can do for the different use case. And in the one of the streams is usage scenarios. This is what we want to do. We want to reduce the cost of smart city. For the 24 applications, I estimate the average cost is about $700,000 per square kilometer. We need to reduce it to something like $60,000, $70,000. It's not going to happen unless we do a lot of radical simplification.
Before coming here, I had the opportunity to chat with Mr. Manjunath and that clarified a few of my doubts. But coming to the point, startups are more than willing to come forward and participate and do as much as possible to contribute towards the pet project of the smart city development. My question is, if we bring forward some concepts or some solution, and we don't have the funds, but we expect some kind of help coming from the government. But after we develop this, if there's some kind of a service delivery model that we can think of in terms of monetization for whatever solution that we are building. So we may not be making any money initially as we build this thing, but over a period of time, because after the priority of smart city goes, these startups or anyone who help come forward to help may not be existent after the whole thing was been deployed. Once the priority is shifted to something else.
No, I think
one more question, if I can ask. One of the areas which I think has not been shown here is a certain section of society probably may be missed out in the whole journey of deploying smart cities, and that is the people in the BPL category. How are they going to use these different technologies or whatever we are going to deploy for these cities? How are they going to use it? And what are the different things? For instance, if I have some solution which can help them also come into this space, how can we address it?
The second one is easier. You're making a wrong assumption. This is an extremely political process. The governance is very strong. The focus is on all segments of population. Read the reports. They're all in the public domain. You may change your idea. So to lot of people who are not technologists who get very worried, this is not a technology process. It is very strongly governance, people, participation. In fact, many of these projects will happen because the citizens will pay even if the government doesn't pay. So don't worry on those fronts. Coming to the startup issue, I think district commissioners, the administrators, the bureaucrats will be reluctant to buy something when the supplier won't exist after some time. So you don't have a chance. The only way it will work is a system integrator, an L&T or an IBM or a Cisco uses your technology and they will volunteer for penalties and making it work. So if you go out of existence, they will get someone else to do it. So the model that will work is we will have to help create an ecosystem where you are a subcontractor to a system contractor who has the balance sheet strength and the ability to work with the government.
Until of course the entire policy changes where the startups are able to kind of
No policy. They will never buy it. They will never buy it.
I am just putting this on.
No policy. Let's be practical. No IS officer will buy from someone who is not going to be around.
let's hope for the best. Just Pinky, we hope you're right.
So come and get your opinions drafted into the guidelines that we will propose. You know, this is an opportunity to challenge the government to think differently.
Sure.
No, and a positive
That's
note,
it.
right? All these essays are looking for solutions like this from startups.
Exactly.
So that's the best way.
No, let's
See,
start
the
off-
way to
let's start
drive
off
it
with-
is
let's go.
appropriateness and cost. If the
Yeah.
cost of operation has to be lower, if it has to be integrated solution, ready-made things from outside won't work. So that's the way to drive the need to find statutes.
So let me answer your second question in a slightly different way. And that is why. So this is under a program like Digital India, right? So it's a government program called the Smart Cities Mission. Similarly, and in an almost equitable way, there is another program. It's called the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Rurban Mission, right? Which is targeted at providing solutions for the rural sector. And they call it Rurban because now they see that there is a whole, there is this osmotic thing between what's happening in the urban area and rural area. There is no specific solution that can only satisfy the rural area. In fact, agriculture as a source of rural income has fallen to almost 27%. I mean, it's more of these other things that are coming up. So they understand that, and solutions that are now brought forth for cities, many of them will be easily replicable, or in fact, the same system per se by a same vendor will be applicable to rural. So that's another way of looking at it.
Okay, so
Come and join the Sagar Marathon. You can see it's going to be real fun.
absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us. And there's a fantastic session going on, which is the best of the Vision Summit, accelerating IP in IoT and ESDM. So please join us at the Great Ballroom.